So this is my final screencast for my client intake form as well as my personal training workout plan. So I'm just going to go over the intake form really quickly because my client originally was going to be Josh, my roommate, who is a 21-year-old male, but in reality during the Zoom sessions I ended up training Galen. Um, the intake form begins with a medical history. He did have some significant injuries to both his knee and shoulder, and then lifestyle choices, diet, nutrition, body comp, um, static postural assessment, which highlighted some um, abnormalities that you would maybe expect based on his injury history and both his knees, ankles, and shoulders. And then similarly during his overhead squat. And then the cardiorespiratory assessment was all normal, so good there, no contraindications to exercise. And then some of his SMART goals. Um, so the workout plan is in the hypertrophy strength phase of the NASA model, which thankfully applies to both Josh and Galen. So each workout consists of a warm up, a movement prep, core balance and corrective exercise, and then a speed, agility, quickness section, followed by resistance training and a cool down. And there's 2 workouts per week over the course of 4 weeks. You can see at the bottom here. So 8 workouts total. So beginning off with the warm up starts with an exercise of incline walking on a treadmill. This is just to really like increase blood flow, get the body warm. Around 50 to 60% max heart rate. I have it varying depending on the week. Followed by banded YTWs, which are designed to activate your upper back and your shoulders, particularly like your rear delts. And followed by foam rolling, targeting areas that are like tight and sore, but also areas that you know as a personal trainer are likely to be overcompensating or overactive. So after that, we have banded abductor works and or monster walks. And these I just programmed in for each warm up because glutes are a chronically underactive muscle, and a lot of the speed, agility, quickness, and leg exercises are really dependent on having your glutes fire, and I wanted them to be properly warmed up beforehand. So once the warm up was done, moved on to core balance and corrective exercises. And so these exercises are obviously designed to improve stability and neuromuscular control. Most of these exercises target your abs, your obliques, and then your main leg muscles like your quads, hamstrings, glutes, but also like the dynamic stabilizers. And you can see that when I incorporated exercises on like unstable surfaces, like a squat on a Bosu ball or like planking on a stability ball, stuff like that, where your base of support's a little bit unsteady. Um, and then so movement prep is followed by speed, agility, and quickness. These are obviously designed to improve your explosiveness, make you faster, more agile. These exercises were all sort of quick bursts of like high energy output. They're usually involving like sprinting or cutting and changing direction very fast. So we have a wall drill. Um, Over here we have like quick cutting, a T drill, back and forth. You might do that if you're a former athlete a lot. Um, like lateral plyometric jumps or like a sprint fall, stuff like that. And then moving on from speed, agility, quickness, we have the resistance training. So like I said before, this is the hypertrophy strength phase. Um, so the hypertrophy strength workouts I designed consist of a whole body day every 2 days. So it's a circuit training program that has legs, back, and chest as one circuit, and then biceps, triceps, shoulders, and core. So I broke it down into sort of the compounds and then the accessory movements. Um, in this, like you'll notice I don't have rest times, but I have like a key over to the side, obviously labeling circuit 1 and circuit 2, and then also saying that really rest time should be kept minimal because different muscle groups are being targeted each exercise. But if rest is necessary, NASM recommends like a 0 to 60 second rest. So keeping rest times pretty short, getting the heart rate up. Um, and then so the legs, back, and chest will be a lot more compound movements. And then biceps, triceps, core, more accessory. And obviously when we performed the Zoom workouts, it was adapted more based on what Galen had, which was honestly just some bands and a pull-up bar. And then These are exercises that are ultimately designed for hypertrophy. So a lot of the reps range from 8 to 12. A lot of medium and slow. There's not too much explosive work here. And then all the tips I gave were really about coaching tempo, how to get the most out of each rep, how to maximize movement patterns for the really the greatest gains, the greatest hypertrophy. And then finally, each exercise you can see consists of a cool down, and I kept the cool down consistent as well. Stationary bike, this was sort of a personal preference thing for me, which me and Justine talked about. I have 5 minutes, like a slow pace, just to keep your blood moving, get it circulated around the muscles that you just trained really hard, and then followed by a dead hang to stretch out the lats. And this was good because Galen was able to perform it on Zoom and stuff. And then this was followed by proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation stretching, which was just designed to really increase range of motion over the course of 4 weeks. And all I programmed in was 1 set per major muscle group just to keep the client nice and loose. So this is pretty much an overview of my personal training plan designed for hypertrophy strength as well as my intake form.